the life of Alec Murdaugh.
Alec Murdaugh.
Alec Murdaugh.
Alec Murdaugh.
Alec Murdaugh.
Great South Carolina attorney is charged with the murders of his own wife and son.
It began with a frantic 911 call.
Okay, and are they breathing?
No, ma'am. I need police and an ambulance immediately. It's my wife and my child have been shot badly.
From a man who once stood at the top of South Carolina's legal world, was crying on the phone, saying he'd found his wife and son shot dead on their family estate.
Colleton Dunn, Sheriff's Dispatch.
Alex Murdaugh, powerful attorney, husband, father, and heir to a century-old legal dynasty, was crying on the phone, saying he'd found his wife and son shot dead on their family estate.
Sir, I want to let you know because of the scene, I did go get a gun and bring it down here.
It's in your vehicle? Do you have any guns on you at all?
No, sir. It's leaning up against the side of my car.
Okay. You're fine, man. You're fine. Turn around for me.
I don't have any.
Okay. Yes, sir. I see that. Okay. This is your wife and son?
Oh, and son.
Okay.
It's bad.
For generations, the Murdaughs had run the law in the Low Country. Judges, prosecutors, influence, and power. Their name carried weight in every courtroom.
We need to put this behind us and move on.
It's bad. Check the pulses.
Yes, sir. This is the firearm you brought from inside the house?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I went and got. This is a long story. My son was in a boat wreck a few months back. He's been getting threats. Most of it's been benign stuff we didn't take serious.
Okay.
You know, he's been getting like punched. I know that's somebody. I know that's what it is.
When officers asked what happened, Alex's voice trembled. He said his wife and son had been shot, that he found them moments before calling for help.
When did you get home? Right when you called, or did you go to the house first? Where is the house?
I came to the house first. My mom has late stages Alzheimer's, and my dad is in the hospital.
Okay.
I left. I don't know what time. I can go back on my phone and tell you the exact times. Did you check?
Okay. Did I check what?
Did you check them?
We got medical guys that are. That's what they're gonna do. Okay. Is this the only firearm with you? This is the only one, or is there any more in the truck?
I believe that's it.
You think that's the only one? Okay.
I'm 99%.
Do you normally have any other firearms in your vehicle?
I don't, but occasionally there's a pistol in there.
Okay.
As investigators searched for answers, one of them confirmed with Alex, "This is the only firearm you have?" He agreed quietly, his voice unsteady, eyes fixed on the ground. The officer carefully placed the firearm in his patrol car for evidence, then walked back toward Alex to continue questioning.
Gotta call her parents.
What's her name?
Her name is Maggie Murdaugh. Margaret Brandstetter Murdaugh. How you doing?
What's her birthday?
9/15/68.
Okay, and what's your son's first name? You said Paul?
Paul Terry Murdaugh.
Deputies arrive at the Murdaugh property in Colleton County. Flashing lights cut across the dark fields. Alex stands outside the dog kennels, phone in hand, his clothes streaked with what appears to be blood.
Hey, Cody, come around the truck and then go to the building. Come around the truck and then...
There's a set of prints off behind the trailer there.
Yes.
I don't know if it's from
What's
ours or not. There's a set of footprints behind the trailer there too.
Okay.
There's a guy over here that's wanting to talk to him. But I told him he believes that.
Don't even know who Eric is. I know an Alex over there.
Alex.
Okay.
My bad.
There's a guy over here that wants to talk to him?
Yeah, but I didn't know if you wanted me to tell him that or if you wanted me to just chill for a minute. Or if you wanted me to escort him over.
He does not need to walk over there.
No, I mean a long way.
He does not need to go over there.
So you can stay there then?
He can.
From the start, investigators noticed inconsistencies. Alex's calm tone shifted when asked about his timeline. He claimed he hadn't been near the kennels for an hour, yet phone data later showed his voice on a video recorded by Paul just minutes before the murders. That small detail, captured forever in Paul's phone, would become the turning point of the entire case.
223 Majestic Oak, wait in Titusville. 10-4. There's a Cottersville unit that can assist, that'd be great.
Pretty sure Majestic Oaks is their jurisdiction anyway.
Central 505. I believe that's in our jurisdiction anyway. I'll take care of that. Copy. 23 Majestic over. I got some. I'm trying to get the information. It's a gray trailblazer. Correction. It's unknown what type of vehicle. She has a gray trailblazer in her yard that belongs to her. She says she can only see the tail lights of the vehicle. She is also threatening to use it.
Police examined the scene carefully. Footprints, shell casings, tire marks, anything that might point to who pulled the trigger.
Yes, sir. We're going to discuss it later and find out.
Okay, just I was making sure I didn't miss something.
Nope. Yep.
So
I've got multiple gunshots out of that window too.
do we see a shell?
At least 3.
A shell.
Copy.
Investigators spread out across the property, moving slowly and deliberately. Every doorway, every patch of dirt, every inch of the house was inspected for possible clues. Officers photographed shell casings, footprints, and scattered debris, marking each detail before moving on. The glow of flashlights swept over walls and floors, revealing streaks, stains, and fragments that might tell the story of what really happened here. It was a careful, methodical search, the kind that turns chaos into evidence.
Just so you know, I've got at least 5 holes in the window in the back of that shed where rounds were exiting out back that way.
Which is going to be about shot because of the damn water on the floor. I mean, he was carrying a shotgun when we got
It is currently in my vehicle.
Yep.
All right.
Because his wife is dead.
Thank you.
Y'all just make sure on that side, that's it, nobody else.
As the search wrapped up, attention turned toward Alex himself. He had the weapon, and his behavior raised quiet concern among investigators. His tone shifted between calm and nervous, his answers uneven.
How many pellets are normally in a buckshot?
10, 12.
The reason I asked is just because the holes that are in that window look very large.
Yeah, there's some glass.
Some of them larger, some of them smaller.
You'd be able to, you'd need it in wood or something solid.
And there's a whole bunch of trees back there, so they might be able to find something in a tree. I don't know.
What are they thinking now?
Well,
I have no clue, but
he had a
what I'm
shotgun.
did
He had a shotgun. But, don't know.
but basically, not his actual
Central
brain.
Federal Power and negative
brain
contact
matter
with any
is on the ceiling. And,
Go ahead and turn me up.
so if you're shot at an upper angle,
Copy.
the shotgun was laying on the floor.
Appreciate it.
That would point to suicide.
787 Central. Copy, go. Good. Falcon Ferry and Jacksonville Road.
I'm going to clear up if I'm not.
Got a report of a vehicle.
Don't think I need to.
Where
pick
are
up
you at?
truck in the ditch with the flashers
Got it.
on.
Where's the car? Is that here right there?
Call advisor, didn't see anyone around the vehicle. No signs of a wreck.
I'll be able to
It's after the
get some
church.
people out of my way.
The first road on the right.
787.
I haven't even touched it to clear it.
Well, that's fine.
Fully loaded, still sitting there.
That'd be great. Have a long ETA.
As detectives pieced together the scene, the question hung heavy in the air. Who would want to kill Maggie and Paul Murdaugh? At first, investigators looked outward, searching for enemies or random violence. But soon, the focus shifted inward. Rumors of family tension, financial pressure, and legal troubles began to surface. Behind the image of a respected attorney, Alex Murdaugh was facing lawsuits, debt, and exposure. And that made him more than just a grieving husband. It made him a suspect.
Just start at the top, take your time.
Like when I came back here, I mean, I pulled up and I could see him, and, you know, I knew something was bad. I ran out. I knew it was really bad. My boy over there,
This great South Carolina attorney is charged with the murders of his own wife and son.
Okay, and are they breathing? No, ma'am.
Who exactly is this guy?
The evidence is going to show that he was there.
He is innocent.
Weeks later, the courtroom fell silent as Alex Murdaugh took his seat before the judge. Cameras rolled, reporters filled the benches, and every eye in the room fixed on him. The judge began questioning, his tone firm but measured, asking about the night of the murders, the missing money, and the gun that tied back to his property. Alex answered carefully, choosing every word like it might decide his future. It was the moment where grief and guilt collided, and the truth was finally on trial.
May it please the court. Have you had a chance to review that, Mr. Murdaugh?
Yes, sir.
All right, and do you recognize what those are generally?
I do.
And what are they?
Text between Maggie and I.
And what day did they take place?
I'm not exactly sure where they were when they first started, but they would have been somewhere between a hotel, a restaurant, and the ball field.
All right, but when you sent this text on June 6th at 11:41, you say y'all in seat already, correct?
Yes, that's what I did say.
Prosecutors then displayed text messages between Alex, Maggie, and Paul. The room went quiet as the words appeared on the courtroom screen. Messages filled with tension, arguments, and fear. Each one drew the jury closer to understanding what really happened that night.
Later on, you text after she asked you to bring a charger and says, Muggy, you text, I'm dreading it, see you in a little bit. Is that correct?
That's what I said, yes, sir.
She responds, don't come, but then asks about the charger and says it's hot. Is that correct? And then you respond, dialed you by accident, they are making me leave, so I'll see y'all in a few. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And who was making you leave where?
It was past checkout time at the hotel.
And what were you working on at work?
I was working on this Dominion Energy case. Was primarily what I was working on. That we had motions coming up later in that week.
Your financial declaration.
Yes, I prepared the financial declaration. I didn't do any work in this. That's correct.
And you told law enforcement you shot a .22?
That's correct.
You told law enforcement that you never saw any blackout?
That I'd never seen a blackout?
At that point in time when you and Paul were riding the property?
No, I did not see a blackout. All right, the hogs are deep in the swamp in the daytime. So I can tell you that Paul and I were not riding around looking for hogs.
As testimony continued, investigators compared Alex's statements to the evidence, and the cracks started to show. Several things he told officers that night didn't match the facts. His timeline shifted, his phone data disagreed, and what once sounded like confusion now looked more like a lie.
Paul didn't have the gun that blackout that he favored with him while y'all rode the property.
The gun that's in here?
Any rifle.
There was no 300 blackout with me and Paul.
All y'all had was a .22.
And that was a .22 pistol, but we didn't have that with us at that time riding the property.
Right.
The prosecutor leaned forward, replaying the clip. Then came the question that cut through the courtroom. "Mr. Murdaugh, that's your voice on the video, isn't it?" Alex hesitated, eyes down, before admitting quietly that he was there that night. In that moment, the story he'd told officers began to fall apart.
And you testified, you've seen the Snapchat video of you on the tree, is that right?
I have seen that.
And you don't dispute the time of that video, do you?
I don't even know what time that was taken, but whatever the gentleman came and testified to, I don't dispute that.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. When did you go back to the house? Were you with Paul or were you by yourself?
I was by myself when I went back to the house. I went back to the house basically when Maggie got there.
Prior to that, was he back at the house already or he came after you?
Paul was at the shop when I went back to the house.
All right, so you beat him to the house is what you're saying, is that right?
I beat him to the house?
Yeah, you were at the house prior to him getting there.
Yes.
All right, and you say Maggie was there at the same time or there before you or there after you?
The prosecution circled back to the same point over and over. Where exactly were Maggie and Paul that night? Each time Alex answered, the doubt in the room seemed to grow.
That's what I'm not absolutely certain about. I believe that Maggie came through the kennel entrance, and going back and looking at these records and these times, I believe she came through the kennel entrance while Paul and I, what I said is he got up and he finished eating and he left our immediate vicinity. Now, I don't believe he left at that point. Given what I've looked at, time records and all, I believe that he was around the... Actually, I don't think law enforcement asked me what I did when we first went to the house, but I clearly lied to law enforcement about what I said yesterday.
Okay. Supposedly saw your wife and child, all of this detail. You as a lawyer and a prosecutor didn't think that was important to offer on your own?
Oh, I think it's important.
You told this jury how cooperative you've been and how much information you wanted to provide, but you left out the most important parts, didn't you?
As testimony continued, the case only raised more questions than answers. Each witness added another layer of confusion, leaving the jury and everyone watching wondering what to believe.
I left out that, I sure did.
You don't consider that one of the most important parts? You would agree with me that the data reflects Maggie start logging steps and her phone disconnecting from the Mercedes around 8:17, correct?
I agree. At 8:17, her phone ends connection to her Mercedes.
And starts logging steps?
I don't see that, but I don't dispute it.
Okay. So would you concede that that appears to be when she arrived?
No, I don't believe that's when she arrived. I believe that, I mean, it was very normal for Maggie when she's driving to jump out of the car, run inside, go.
But you're saying Paul arrived after Maggie, is that what you're saying? At the house?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Okay.
As the trial reached its midpoint, the weight of the evidence became impossible to ignore. Prosecutors laid out every detail: the financial crimes, the lies to his law partners, and the life insurance policies that painted a picture of desperation. They showed the jurors the weapons, the shell casings, and the timeline built from phone records and GPS data. Each piece fit a little too neatly. Then came the digital proof: call logs, deleted messages, and that critical Snapchat video placing Alex near the kennels minutes before the murders. The defense argued it was all coincidence, that grief and addiction had clouded his memory. But to the jury, the facts were stacking up fast, and every new detail made it harder to believe Alex Murdaugh's story.
Mr. Murdaugh, is that what you said?
Sir?
You said if Paul got the house prior to that, he wasn't inside with you and Maggie, is that what you said?
I'm saying he was not inside when I went to get in the shower.
Okay. But again, looking back at this data point, 8:08, we see a little blue dot right there in the middle of the house, don't we?
Yeah, that's what these records show.
Okay. And you would agree with me that about 8:38, Paul's phone shows him back up at the kennels?
Well, yes, sir, I agree that at 8.
And we got to the scene, you got out of the car, according to what you told law enforcement repeatedly, and went and check the bodies, correct? Before you called 911. Is that correct?
No, sir, that's not correct.
You're saying you didn't say that to law enforcement?
I don't know what I said to law enforcement, Mr. Waters, but I can tell you this. When I pulled up and I saw Maggie and Paw, I jumped out of that car. I know that I went back to my car and I called 911 as quickly as I could. That point in time, when I got on the phone, then is when I went to them and did the things that I did. So, what you're saying is not accurate.
You're saying that you didn't say very specifically to law enforcement that you went to them prior to calling 911. At least on this one, at some point during this interview when you were able to plan your lie about this event. And you made that decision. But it wasn't what we just played. It wasn't yet. It was some point after that.
I don't think that's a lie right there, is the reason why I don't think that it's occurred before this, because what I'm saying there, I believe to be truthful. And I know this. I know for a fact that when David Owens asked me about my relationship with my wife and my child, I know that that played a role in that. And I believe that, and I may be wrong, but I believe that this was before that.
You ever heard the expression, not telling the whole truth is the same as telling the lie?
Sure I have.
That's something you understood as a lawyer and a prosecutor?
Yes.
Prosecutors played the video of Alex Murdaugh's first interview with investigators. The jury watched as his story shifted and his tone wavered. Each word raised more doubt, and by the time it ended, the courtroom was silent.
All right, Ms. Murdaugh, state your full name for me, please.
Richard Alexander Murdaugh.
And spell your last name so I get it correct.
Murdaugh.
All right. And date of birth, Mr. Murdaugh.
May 27th, 1968.
And a good phone number for you.
803-942-1227.
And sir, what was your name?
Danny Henderson.
Okay. All right. As I stated, I'm David Owen in Lower Rutland with Colleton County. I'm a SLED. I hate to have to do this.
I understand.
Yeah.
I totally understand. Yeah. So you don't have any problem with it.
So
just start at the top. Take your time.
Like when I came back here, I mean, I pulled up and I could see him, and you know, I knew something was bad. I ran out. I knew it was really bad. My boy over there.
You hadn't decided to lie right there.
I don't believe so.
That you understood that he had to ask questions and you do what you need to do, correct?
That is what I told him.
The question that echoed across the courtroom: was Alex Murdaugh guilty? For months, the nation watched every moment of this trial. The powerful attorney turned suspect, the lies, the stolen money, the family secrets, and the shocking discovery of his wife and son's murders. The evidence built piece by piece, from the text messages, the gun, and finally, the Snapchat video that placed him at the scene. When the verdict was read, Alex Murdaugh stood motionless as the jury found him guilty of murdering his wife, Maggie, and his son, Paul.